first I was doubting the Sixers, and I wasn't doubting them because I had doubt in the Sixers. I was doubting them because I had doubt in the roster construction, meaning I didn't understand the Sixers had a big three. I just thought they had a big two.
Good point.
I thought they had Harden. I thought they had Embiid. I didn't realize that Maxey is really that dude.
Yeah.
Shame on me. I apologize. I got myself in order now. I got myself in check.
Shame on him.
At the point in which you got Maxey, Harden when he gets back in shape, and then you got Embiid, you have a big three. And what we know about winning titles, a big three will trump a big two any day of the week. Remember last year's NBA Finals. All of a sudden, Drew Holiday inserted himself as a bona fide and legitimate threat, both on offense and on defense. Next thing we knew, we saw Middleton, we saw Giannis, and we saw Drew. Meanwhile, the Suns had Paul, CP3, and the Suns had Booker. What we know is that when you got that third player, then you can really go over the edge. You can go over the top. The third dude might be Maxey on any given night. Third dude might be Harden on any given night. Keep in mind, right now, James Harden is the fourth leading scorer for the Sixers in the playoffs. So right now, the potentially capable best scorer of James Harden is the fourth leading scorer for the Sixers. The reason the Sixers are legitimate NBA title contenders is because they have three bona fide dudes who can hit you for 40 points on any given night. Embiid is consistent. Maybe the most consistent player in basketball, not named Giannis Antetokounmpo. So Embiid is consistent. Outside of Embiid, I just need one. Maxey, you can choose. You want to take Monday, Wednesday, Friday? That's a bet. James Harden, can you take Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays? Okay, we good. I just need one of y'all to ball because Embiid is going to ball. As long as the Sixers continue to get two ballers a night, which they have proven to get, and on some nights they get three because Tobias Harris gave buckets too, then the Sixers are legitimate contenders.
I would love to go along with that because I agree with you. They do look like they have a big three. The problem is it really a big three or are two of those on a seesaw? James Harden has not been who James Harden is supposed to be in these playoffs just yet. Unless you want to measure him based on his past postseasons, then this is exactly who James Harden is in the postseason. A little less than what he is in the regular season. I don't know. I don't want to do that because to me, that's not a true big three. A true big three is like all three of us going to show up every single time. So the emergence of Maxey has come at the decline of James Harden so far this postseason, averaging 22 points in the regular season with the Sixers, 18 all of a sudden when you talk about the postseason. Remember you said a big three trumps a big two any day of the week? Miami Heat, anybody? Line one? Remember when they played those Mavs? I don't know. Big one trumped the big three in that occasion.
Baby.
Yeah, I give you that one.
Whiskey, baby.
And headband man, Jason Terry, my dog. Respect. Let me tell you why you can't call the Sixers a legit title contender just yet. They limped down the end of the regular season, in part because James Harden wasn't James Harden again, all right? I think they were 4-5 in their last 9, all right? Whatever it may be. Raptors have the worst defensive rating in the entire playoffs of all teams, okay? So you're playing against the worst defensive team. Here's another headline for you. The Raptors are not a good shooting team. Here's another headline for you. The Raptors are missing basically 2 starters. Here's another headline for you. The Raptors are losing at the free throw line because they're playing the team that has the greatest free throw disparity, the team that shoots the most free throws, easy shots. Philadelphia 76ers with James Harden. Here's another headline for you, that the Raptors are losing in transition in part because they're undermanned. Point being, this is not a good litmus test. You know how it goes? Sometimes you just go out there, hey, let's have a scrimmage, and then you realize, that didn't really tune us up, coach, for the regular season. This is not tuning them up, the Sixers, for real title contenders. Whoever comes out of that Boston Nets series, Milwaukee, Miami, it's not tuning them up for that because they're going against 2 lowly opponents. This was a great underdog story coming from Canada that was undermanned and now realized that we don't have a shot. We don't have a chance. So I hear what you're saying. I don't believe in their big three yet because I haven't seen them all play at the same level consistently. And more importantly, this is not the right opponent.
So here is the beauty of a big three. Is that if one is down, you still got 2 to carry you through. Because to your point, all you really need is 2 bona fide dudes, but the privilege in having a 3 is you can assume one might not be hot on any given night. So you talk about a seesaw. Harden's up, Maxey's up. Harden's up. The beauty of that seesaw is at least one of them is up. As long as Joel Embiid stays as consistent as he has been playing throughout the entirety of this season, just give me one more. I just need one more. I just need you, Harden, or I need you, Maxey. If I get both of y'all, we will blow anybody out. But I just need one more. Anybody until I would say you get to the Eastern Conference Finals. If James Harden and Joel Embiid are both in their bag, I just think they have too much talent for the Miami Heat, who they will see next round. If James Harden and Joel Embiid are both in their bag, that is when you got an issue when you run into the Milwaukee Bucks, because they got Middleton, plus they got Giannis, and then you can sprinkle in a little bit of Drew Holiday. So I don't mind the seesaw sale, because the seesaw still implies I have one more top dog running with Joel Embiid, and that's all Joel Embiid needs. This is Tyrese Maxey's coming out party, it appears. He's coming out and letting the world know, like, he's a dude. I get it. He averaged roughly 18, 19 points per game in the regular season, but he's averaging 30 points per game right now. When more than that, he's just having fun doing it. I seen a clip going viral this morning when he was trash talking Fred VanVleet, and he was like, yo, just hyping his dudes up as though he was a wily old vet. Y'all got to be on the lookout for the 76er squad, because this 76er squad is not who we thought they were. They're actually significantly better. We thought the 76er squad was a combination of Harden and Embiid and a little bit of Maxey, and maybe you'll get something from Tobias Harris. What we're now realizing is this 76er squad is Harden, Embiid, and Maxey. You know Embiid's going to give you buckets every night. It appears that Maxey in the playoffs is going to be a different caliber dude. I'm all in.
You know you just became a meme. If somebody cuts you up, they're going to clip you. When I was growing up and then in college, there was a song out, hold on, what the little Maxey, and you just said it basically with your little native tongue. All right, so anyway, meme them out, y'all. Hood them. The Sixers are not playing well enough for you to even think they're title contenders, even against a lowly Toronto Raptors team. I say lowly because of injuries. I say lowly because they're underdogs. I say lowly because this team is not that good in the first round on the road. You want to see their record in first-round games on the road? And I'm going all the way back to when you were in college, my man. 11-21. It flips at home. 12-2 last 14 games. Let's see what happens when we go to Toronto, when we go to Canada, when not everyone on the Philadelphia 76ers is traveling. You keep telling me Embiid is so consistent in these playoffs. Really? Did you watch game one? I did. 19 points on 33% shooting. Is that consistent? 19 points, 33% shooting. 9 of those points came from the free throw line. 10 of those were just field goals. You call that consistent? I don't know. James Harden's not playing to his level. Down in points, down in rebounds, down in field goal percentage, down in free throw percentage. Sixers defense all postseason right now so far, couple games, 9th. You got a bad defense against a team that can't shoot, against a team that doesn't have their players. Dog, I know what you're trying to say, as you told me last block. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Right now, you're not playing a good enough opponent for me to even think that you're a contender, and you're not playing well enough against that opponent for me to think you're a contender.
So you got a 20-point win, and you have, what, a 16-point win, and you telling me that's not good enough? A 20-point win and a 13-point win. That is good enough. But more than focusing on the opponent, what I love is focus on yourself.
19 from Embiid, game one.
So here's the beauty of that, because you make a good point. Embiid, knowing you're winning by 20 points, that's different than Kevin Durant's 24 in game one. Kevin Durant's 24 in game one was on 9 of 24 shooting in a loss, but more importantly than in a loss, in a close game, right? It could have, the Nets obviously could have won.
Yeah.
Embiid's 19 in game one was in a 20-point blowout. But further than that, if you look at the full stat line, 19 and 15 on an off night for Embiid, that's what I mean. He's consistent. Consistent isn't about always balling. Being consistent in life is truly about lifting up your floor so that there's not such a discrepancy between your floor and your ceiling. Consistency isn't exclusively based on having the highest highs. It's based on mitigating how low your lows are. And at this junction in time, Joel Embiid is mitigating how low his lows are. Joel Embiid played awful by Embiid standards game one, and still had 19 and 15. So if I know that at minimum Embiid gonna give me a strong double-double in a 20-point blowout, then I think that these Sixers are gonna be A-OK. Now, if James Harden don't get it right at all in that next series versus the Heat, I'm with you. They got some issues.
But historically, James Harden hasn't gotten it right. And then he's starting these playoffs not getting it right.
Right, yeah.
So big
wrong
three
there.
is strong.
You ain't wrong
I
there.
don't want to come off as like I'm not supporting what you're saying. But Maxey has had 2 good games. Let's just give him, he's in a different category than even Embiid and Harden. Embiid shot 33% in the first game. You can say 19 points, 9 free throws, but 33% is not good for Embiid. He's a big dog. We need to get that up there in them 60s, 70s if we want. Harden, last game, game 2, shot 33%, 14 points, 7 free throws. Not trying to disparage the free throw line, but at the same time, you're not giving me buckets at your level of efficiency. So let's call it like it is. You can say it's a big 3. Maxey has had 2 good games. Embiid's had 1 by his standards. Harden's not had 1 yet. So where are we going with this in terms of what this team is going to look like? All I'm saying is hit the pause button on them. Because right now, going against this team that's undermanned, that's underperforming, that is not in Toronto right now, a lot's yet to be seen.